Hey everybody, it's Dallas42 back again with another 7 Days to Die video. It's the morning of day 73, and we are in the process of exploring the pine forest for Tier 4 POIs and trying to complete them. So this one down here is the next one that we haven't done yet. So I want to go down there and check that out today, and then work our way over to the left side, the west side of this zone, because there's several Tier 4s over here also. So that's what I want to do today. I've recently decided that I'm going to start doing Tier 4s in addition to Tier 5s, just because they're cool, they're fun, and they're worth seeing. And it'll extend our gameplay of this playthrough a little bit further. So that's what we're going to do today. I hope that if you enjoy today's video, you will click the like button. You will subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that bell to get notified whenever I post something new. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought about everything. And share it with your friends. All that kind of stuff helps my channel keep growing, and I appreciate your support. Without further ado, let's hop on our steel horse and make our way down there to that POI. I think I've got about 5 or so POIs, Tier 4 POIs, that I've identified here in the pine forest that we haven't done yet, or we haven't gone back to check if we've done. Some of those we might have already completed. We just need to go and verify, and if so, change the label. Is it Tier 3? Yeehaw! Evil Knievel. There's the deer I got, and the snake. They're still there. It's interesting to note that they stay there for quite a while. I've also logged out of the game since then and logged back in, and they're still there. So that's good to know. I have to cut cross country here for a while. There's a piece of iron. Let's grab a little bit of that while we're here. Just keep grabbing this easy iron whenever we see it. We should have plenty in our storage that we can use to make steel. And I don't have to make a huge effort to go out and get it. There's some more. Good enough. Okay, here's our Tier 4. Watch out for landmines around a military base like that. Let's find the main road in. Here we go. What is this place called? Fort Bags. I can't say for certain if I've done this one before, so let's check it out. If we've done it before, it should be pretty simple to get in here and grab the payoff loot. So that's how we will know if we've done it or not. Gas, baby. Give me some gas. I like that. I don't know that I've done this one. It doesn't feel familiar. Sure looks like those guys just spawned in like as soon as I climbed up that ladder. Maybe it's just the way that they appear in the environment. Maybe they were always there, but I just didn't see them. Uh-oh. I hate those things. Those fire zombies. Those are the bags in the name Fort Bags, perhaps? I wanted to check and see if I had any skill points to distribute. I do not. Okay. But once I get one, there's probably some good stuff that I can get. What's that? Nothing important, that's what that is. Okay, looks like down the stairs is the way. Done everything on the surface level. I have not done this POI, because if I had, that door would be open. And there's the payoff loot. Pretty easy POI. Ammo. Parts. Don't need baton parts, but I'm going to get them out of there. Hopefully help this these things respawn. Surely that's the payoff. Yeah, there's a box here. I did craft some lockpicks, but I forgot to bring them with me. So, if we want to get in here, we're going to have to do it this way. Oh, that's tedious. Sorry. Forgot to grab those lockpicks. We can go back home before we go to the west side of the pine forest. We can go back home and grab those. Because we got 4 or 5 POIs over there on the west side of the pine forest that we want to do. And they're all going to have lock boxes like this that we're going to have to get open. Don't want to pass it up, because there's usually good loot in these things. Alright. What's over here? Nothing. That's what's over there. Okay. Out we go. And Fort Bags is finished. So let's update our label accordingly. Alright, so if we go here and we hit 4 in the filter, we can see all the ones that we've done and all the ones that we have not done. We've identified a lot of tier 4s, so some of those are likely duplicates. We will find out eventually. Let's slap a marker back here, and let's get back home and grab those lockpicks before we continue. We kind of have to go that way anyway to get to the POIs over on the west side. There's nothing down here. I actually wanted to take a closer look at that and make sure it's not a tier 4, because it looks a little suspect. I have not labeled this one on the map, so it's either a tier 0 or I just forgot to label it. Survey says it's a tier 1 camp that I just never labeled. Alright, now we'll put an update over here. Head back up there. Just so I can grab those lockpicks before we continue with more POIs. So I have to subject you to me beating them open with my impact driver. It's a bit time consuming. Our gasoline might be done crafting, or some of it at least. Here's some coal. Let's grab some easy coal while we have the chance. That's good enough for now. Drop box somewhere? Oh, back over there. Okay. Save that for some other time. At this stage of the game, the drop boxes rarely give me anything essential anymore. Sometimes ammo and stuff could be helpful, but beyond that, don't really need that stuff that comes down in those, probably. We're getting to that point in the game where we don't want for much. Got pretty much everything we need, everything we want. A little trickle of ammo coming in to replace what we use, and that's about it. That's about all we need. Okay, let's see what we can drop off while we're here. Yeah, AP we'll save for the Horde Night. Top up my 9mm. Got lots of coal. Don't need any of that anytime soon. Okay, back out we go. Oh yeah, we gotta grab those lockpicks. That's why I came back in the first place. There we go. How about gas? Got one stack of gas. Just take that with us just to be on the safe side. There we go. Okay, now. This one over here is the next one I want to take a look at. I think we've probably done that one before. But if we have, we'll be able to easily see, because the pathway into the payoff loot should be easy to get to if we've done it before. And if so, we'll just change our label accordingly. And if not, we'll do it real quick. There's a box very close up there. I should go grab that real quick. I got a better miner helmet than that already. Don't need that stuff. Yeah, nothing too critical there. Hey, there's some books I haven't read. Nothing very important, but books I haven't read, nonetheless. Alright, on with the POI. Gas, I'll take some gas. Take some iron. Okay, the question is NDC checkpoint 1. Okay, let's see how easy to get the payoff loot is. If we've done this one before or not. Yeah, this is the payoff room right here. This is the payoff loot right here. So yeah, I have done this one before. Okay, let's loot some easy payoff loot. Empty the boxes so they'll respawn. I think they'll respawn. And then we'll just change our label, and we'll move on to the next one. (4x) NDC checkpoint 1. I need to eat. Okay, what's next? We've got this one down here, and let's go take a look at that. I don't think we ever did this one. Wright Residence. It's the Wright Residence for right now, for us to loot. Yeah, I'm fairly certain we did not do this one. How to get in. Front doors are unlocked. That's a good place to start. We're not going to loot every little piece of junk in here. We're just going to go ahead and press on. Unless something really looks appealing. Starting to get a feel for what kind of loot appears in what kind of places. And loot those kinds of things that typically have the good loot, and ignore the ones that don't. So it's possible that we might have to break some walls down. Doesn't happen often in this game, but things like this that are already mostly broken down, I think they intend for you to break that down and come in here because it's already mostly broken down. It's not the way through the POI. It's just like a little extra room that you can loot, get a little bit of loot in. Same thing over here. That's one way to do it. Check garment bags, you might find some good armor in there. Certain types of loot have a higher likelihood of containing a certain type of... Certain types of containers have a higher likelihood of containing a certain kind of loot. Like the garment bag has a higher chance of containing armor than other types of containers, for example. So once you get a feel for that, you can kind of target those containers that are more likely to have things that you need. You're not safe from me. Got it on the first try. Nothing good in there, though. We'll just empty it out so that next time, hopefully it will respawn, in case we ever come here again. Locked. Nothing good there. Something about this just tells me I need to break it. That door's locked. Legendary parts. Level 5 biker boots. What kind of boots am I wearing? Ranger boots, okay. Alright, here's the way forward. Don't need any of that. Up we go. Lots of bookshelves in here. Find some books we haven't read before. Vehicles, nice. 82. Vehicles is one book that I definitely want to get more of. Got a lot of books that are things that we haven't read, but not terribly important for our build. Still cool to get them. Knives is good for my build, but I only need to get knife skill so I can make a level 6. Whoa. So that I can make a level 6 machete. But I already have a level 5 machete, so it's not much better than what I already have. I'll take a level 5 scavenger gloves. That might be better than what I've got. Lots of books in here. Ooh, Cripple 'em mod schematic. Not terribly important. If you like to shoot things in the leg, that would be helpful, but I prefer to shoot them in the head. It's like, goes back to the earliest zombie movies and stuff. You gotta shoot them in the head. Like, come on. More vehicles, 83, nice. I guess I can take those. That's quite a personal library up here somebody had. We'll take it just so it hopefully will respawn later. Don't know that we're ever going to come back to this POI, but just in case we do. Oh, interesting. Elevator shaft. We found a way out, but we have not found the payoff loot yet, so I'm going to continue. It's got to be close. This person has a cave under their house. That's pretty cool. Wow. This is pretty big. This is a big POI. Got another vehicle book, up to 84 out of 100. That's good. Got a wheel. Might have enough wheels at home. I don't know that I'm going to need... I'll probably need a couple of them to build the gyrocopter eventually. Some gas. Gas is always good. What the heck is going on here? This place is crazy. This is why I wanted to do Tier 4 POIs. Perfect example. Got this crazy POI that punches well above its weight class. It's just a Tier 4, but it's big. Big and a lot going on. Pretty cool environment. There's the valve that'll turn off that fire. So I can proceed down this hallway. And there's probably some more valves or a way around that. You see an obstacle like this in a POI, you gotta think to yourself, there's gotta be another way. There's a way to turn that fire off or get around it. Ah, there's a valve. I turned part of the fire off. Not all of it, though. Whoa. Alright. That should have turned all the fire off by now. There it is. See how that works? You almost never have to brute force your way through a POI. You can almost always find an intended path that the developers intended for you to take. It doesn't require you to break down walls or dig holes or anything like that. Almost always. Find quite a bit of gas in here, that's good. I like that a lot. Every little bit of gas I find is gas I don't have to make. This looks like a good place for an ambush. Oh, there's a button up here I have to push. I'll bet after I push it there's going to be an ambush. Sure enough. After a while you get to where you can just smell the ambush coming in this game. This is a very large Tier 4 POI. Maybe the largest I've ever seen. Perfect example of why I wanted to run Tier 4 POIs in addition to the 5s, because some of them are pretty cool like this. Something to see. Something to experience. Looks like that's probably the way out. Still haven't found the payoff loot yet. Lots of gas in here. I like that. I haven't had this much gas since the last time I went to Taco Bell. Yeah, there's probably another way you could get down in there. Put your mind to it. Oh, look at that. We're back there again. That's where I just went. So the only way I can still go is over here. And look, it's the payoff room. Wow, that's a long ladder. Just gonna open that hatch up there. This POI ended up being very large. Unexpectedly large. All you see from outside is the house, and the house itself is pretty big. About the same size as the average Tier 4 POI. But inside is a whole bunch of stuff. Try to make sure we always leave boxes empty in case we want to come back and loot them again in the future. The rifles are a fun way to play the game. I've played with rifles in the past. Good for longer range engagements. But I figured the machine guns would be good for longer range engagements as well, and turns out that was true. So I think what happened is when they first made this game, the POIs were pretty simple. And then, as they went on and they got more experience with building the POIs, they became more and more elaborate, bigger and more elaborate. And I think that's what happened. And this POI is an example of what I suspect would be a later stage of development in the game. If I had to guess, this particular POI probably was not in the game at the beginning. And then they added it later, once they had more experience building POIs, and that's why it's so elaborate compared to some of the other ones. I might be wrong about that, but that's just my suspicion. Hey, a silver nugget. I need that. We don't need those stones. Well, don't need brass. How about that? That's good enough. Bring any friends? Yes, you are. Alright, homeward bound. Drop some stuff off because I got a full up inventory. We probably got time to do at least one more tier 4 before the end of the day. Before the end of the night, I should say. Top up my ammo. Do I have biker boots? I have a level 5 biker boots, and that one's healthier than this one, so let's get rid of this one. What about scavenger gloves? I do have a scavenger gloves that's better than this one. Getting to that point in the game where we've got almost everything at this point. I don't need that. That's for clubs. Don't need another burning shaft. I'll slap an iron breaker in there. Got all that stuff already. Okay. Leave that in there for now. Alright, let's head back and do one more POI before the end of the day. At least one more. I forgot to label that. I need to get over there and label that properly. That's one way to do it. Just break on through to the other side. Deer. Got him. Okay, this is the Wright Residence. And next on our list, there's a couple of them over here. Let's go do this one. Deer. Got him. The Zavislak Residence. I don't think we've done this one before. See what this one has in store for us. Locked. Ah, an open door with a light on. It's almost like they want us to come in this way. I'm going to continue with my way of not... What's that? I'm going to continue with my way of not sneaking in these tier 4s because it makes them a little bit more exciting. Burning zombies are a priority because those things touch you and they set you on fire, and then you have to take a drink to cool yourself off. Kind of a pain in the neck. These, when you see coals like this in the environment, you can, if you want, drill them like that, or use a mining tool on them, and you'll get coal. So in the early game, that's a good way to get some coal. I got plenty of coal at home. I just wanted to show you that. My videos aim to be entertaining and educational. Loot bags. Legendary parts, always nice. Ammo. Armor crafting mag, that's good. Still lagging behind, but we're getting better, slowly but surely. Found a way out, but we don't need a way out yet. We want to continue to proceed through the POI. Lights pointing at this door, that must be where I need to go. Don't get up, I insist. Where'd you come from? I gained a level. Let's see what we can buy. I'm looking for these things. Permanently additional 50 hit points. Heck yeah, I'll take that. That'll help. Can never have too many hit points. I'll eat some pears, sustain myself as I continue through this POI. Might be something under that floorboard, but I don't need it that bad, whatever it is. There's a way out the window there. That's probably where I need to go. Follow the lights. When in doubt, follow the lights. That's weird. Said I'm bleeding, but I wasn't bleeding. Maybe because I would have been bleeding had I not blocked that attack with my special ability, which is that little icon in the lower left there above my stamina. Indicates that I've blocked an attack with my perk. That lets me block the first attack every so often. After this POI, we'll head back home. This will do it for the day. It's a pretty good sized POI. Pretty nice view from here. Gotta be getting close to the end. Can of sham's good. I can use that to make some sham chowder. I found the payoff. Woot! Armor mag. Hey, got it on the first try. Level 5 Lumberjack. I don't know if I have that one. What's this? Sneaking quickly without getting exhausted takes practice but isn't impossible. Use no stamina while sneak sprinting. Hey, that's a really good one for us, actually. Not so much in these lower tiers, but in the tier 5s, I'll definitely use that. There's still some books I have not read, believe it or not. Is there a way down here? Yeah, save me walking all the way back down through the funhouse. Where'd my bike go? Over on this side. Alright, we need to label this accordingly. That's another one in the books. Not as cool as the last one, but still pretty cool. Alright, let's head back home. And we'll drop our stuff off, and then we will call it a night. Still a couple more there on the west side of the pine forest that we haven't done yet. Then we'll be moving into the burnt forest after that. Try to handle all the tier 4s over there. It's definitely extending our playthrough by several days doing this. I'm not a one-game man. I'm not a one-game player. Like, I like all kinds of games, and I like variety. So eventually, I'm going to want to move on from this game to something else. But not until we feel like we've really done it justice and gotten to a good logical stopping point. I've seen people like get to level 300 in this game. That's just crazy to me. Like, how can you play one game for that long? But some people do. I'm only level 76. I figure we'll definitely hit 100 days in this playthrough before I'm ready to move on to something else. Maybe more. Not in a big hurry, but definitely at some point we'll want to move on. Lumberjack outfit. That's better than the one I had. I got plenty of handgun parts at this point. I got like 50, 61 of them. I really don't need to be grabbing those anymore. They're just like, they're so important in the early game that I'm just kind of conditioned to just grab them whenever I can. I wanted to see if we still had a bunch of stuff on our motorcycle from before. Yep, sure do. Let's take it all, except for one repair kit. Handle this real quick. Do I have Enforcer Gloves 3 or better? I do, but this one has more health. Lumberjack Boots 5. I do. They're both really close to the same health. Nomad Boots 4. I got a 5 up there, okay. Oops, not that. Okay. There's a couple more items on here. There we go. I got lots of ammo now. Look at that. We're loaded for bear. We'll have to take out some bears when we get to the snow biome. Alright, I'm going to call it there for now. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, please click the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that bell to get notified whenever I post something new. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought about it. Share it with your friends. All that stuff helps my channel keep growing, and I appreciate all of your support. I will see you in the next one.